Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be mounting your TV to the wall. So, this is the mount that we're going to be using. This just because I personally like these ones that move all the way around. So that's why it's very adjustable, and you can set up your TV to be really close to the wall or really far away whenever you need to. And that's a good thing whenever you need to get to the back of your TV. It's really important to have one of these and not the standard ones that come exactly against your wall. It just makes it more difficult for you. But anyways, let's just get started. So just remember, whenever you're buying one of these, you have to look at the back of your TV. And on the back of your TV, you're looking for these things. So see that? And this up here, you gotta measure how long that is. And that's because your mount will come with something like so. So see this? This has to fit on your TV. So this is the first thing that you have to set up. And this is the easiest part. The hard part would be finding the studs on your wall. So this has to fit here. So it has to fit on this hole here, has to fit up there. It does not need to be on the edges. This could technically be longer, and that's okay. So as long as it fits your TV, it's fine. This fits exactly on my TV. If these holes for my TV were a little bit like over here and just a little bit farther apart, then this would not be the right mount for me. So right now we're gonna take our second one. Now see this part, this has to be on the top. So the top of your TV, this, and this is on the bottom. So we're just gonna mount this right here, align those holes, align those holes. This is the top, bottom, and that's how it looks like. Then you have to put in the screws that came with this. Now with your kit, you should have got a bunch of different types of screws, and that's because it all depends on your TV. So for my TV, it needs the chubby type of screws. So that's what came with my kit. Also with my kit, you guys could see a bunch of other types. So we could have used a bunch of other things, but we don't need those. All we need are these at the moment. So we're just gonna set these up and I'm gonna show you. So we just have to put this through and then we can just put it there and put it by hand first, then use a screwdriver. So again, we're just putting the screws right there on the top, bottom, and that's it. So that's how this is supposed to look like at this stage. Now I should mention that you don't wanna use any power tools on your TV. So if you're putting these screws in, use a screwdriver by hand. Now before we keep going with the tough stuff, just make sure to not take these out, but just take them out enough. So leave it up to there or something like that. But right now, if you guys leave them as is, they will get in your way when it comes down to mounting your TV. Later on, you can put them tight. So let me explain how this is gonna work. This is gonna go against your wall. Your TV is gonna go here, it's gonna go hanging here. So when you mount your TV, let me just show you from the side. That would slide in here, like so. This has to go there. And then you can tighten these things, okay? So only once that slid up there. It's gonna hang on by itself, even if you guys don't put the screws nice and tight. You guys can do that right at the end of this. So now that we're done with the easy part, we're gonna start off with the studs. We have to find the studs on your walls so we can set this up. And it's gonna be extremely easy for some of you. And for others, you're gonna have to set up some studs yourself. So you might have to break your wall a little bit and set something up there. But for most of you, you're gonna be able to find those studs and then just put these guys in, and it's gonna be so easy. All right, the next step would be to check out the studs on your wall. So usually if there's a corner, for example, like this, we can kind of measure out and the stud would be around here. So the stud is just wood that runs across your wall. And if you got something like this to measure, this is pretty much the distance that your studs are at. Sometimes they're exactly right at the edges. And what you guys want to do is get the center of your studs. Let me just show you. All right, so on the back of my wall, the center of the stud would be this. This is center. How do you find that from the other side? Well, what I do is once I find where the stud is, I just go on and use nails, really small nails, and wherever it doesn't hit, then I know that's not where the stud is at, and wherever it hits, I know where the stud is at. So at some point, you're gonna hit the nail here, 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 right? So then you just look at where it doesn't hit the stud anywhere, and then you're gonna know where the center of the stud is at. Because you're gonna know that you hit a nail there, you hit a nail there, and that would be the middle of the stud. So that's what I personally do to find the middle of the stud before I keep going. So once you know where your studs are at, all you have to do is just mark on your wall where the screws are gonna go. Now, what are you guys gonna use? These guys. These came with your whole package and you only need 4 of them. So we're gonna go on, and what I suggest doing is just start off with one, then level it, mark it again, and then put in the other ones. So just make sure to put this one really tight. I'll show you what I mean. And I should mention what tools we're using. So I'm using this adapter here. I'm just gonna put that in. And then we just have to put this in there. These are 13. And that's gonna fit right here. So we're gonna be able to drill this with this impact gun right here. Also, sometimes it's good to pre-drill a small hole where you're gonna put it. Technically, I would always tell you to take these things out. However, because of the setup here, we're just gonna leave this. But anyways, if we pre-drill a hole, it's gonna be much cleaner. Not all of you will have to do that though. And it always has to be a smaller one, okay? So this has to be smaller than the actual screw that we're gonna place there. So what you wanna do is just put one in, then just take the level that came with it, or your own level, put it on the top, and then you're gonna level this out to whatever makes sense. So it's the middle-ish, and then we can go ahead and put a screw in the other side. So right now that I see that it's leveled, I'm gonna go on and place my second one right there. So once you set up all four, it's supposed to look like so. Move this out of the way. You can see the other ones. You can also see where I changed my mind. It was too high, put it a little bit lower. So make sure you take that into mind. However high you make this is the middle of your TV. So that means that you need to think about the height and how low it goes. So make it to the height that you like. I should also mention when you're buying one of these, make sure it's for the weight of your TV. So usually the most bought TVs are 50 inches. Those are just right in the middle, not too big, not too small. And those are usually under 100 pounds. So it'll be very weird for a TV to be 100 pounds. So anything that's over 70, 80, you're good to go. However, this one's for 100 pounds and my TV is no more. It's a 50-inch and it's no more than 40, 50 pounds. So that's what you guys want. You guys don't want to go to the max. So if you guys are buying one that's up to 60 pounds and you think your TV is 60 pounds, don't buy that. Buy something that's for 70, 80, something more than what your TV weighs. Anyways, at this point in time, just place it kind of wherever you think your TV might be at. You can adjust things later on, especially with this one. You can adjust it a little bit more to make it a little bit more leveled if you like, but that's later. We're just gonna place your TV on top of it, just like I showed you. And this part, we just have to lift up your TV. We're gonna place it here and then just secure everything. Now, I showed you guys this part before because it's hard to get a shot of it, but basically you're gonna lift up your TV until you match it up there and there. This one's kind of hard because there's no slack. Usually they come a little bit bigger, so that way you can move your TV around a little bit. This one's exact, so that's why it's a little bit tougher to put it in. And obviously, you have somebody else to assist you, it's gonna be much easier. You can do this on your own, like I just did, but it's gonna be a little bit easier with someone else. But that's how you match up this to this, which I showed you before, which was much easier. So at this point in time, this TV's got my basement. That's how it looks like. We can move this around. Depends what you guys get. This one works perfect like that. We can move it in and out as much we like. And like I mentioned before, we can even tilt this a little bit to make it more straight later on. But that's how you guys can install this. Hopefully this helped you out. If you guys have any questions, comments, you guys can write down here in the comments area. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.